Hey folks, it's Mangrel. Welcome back to the channel. I'm checking out the refreshed Pavo 20 Pro from BetaFPV. This is a 2.2 inch, roughly 94 millimeter quad. It natively supports the DJI O4 Pro air unit. It's advertised to give you about 6 minutes and 40 seconds of flight time with a 550 milliamp battery. And it comes pretty much almost ready to fly minus the video system and your transmitter, all of that for about $100 US. Now let's get two things out of the way. First of all, this quad is no different than the prior generation Pavo 20 Pro, and I've made a few videos on that. The only difference is this camera cage here that's designed for the O4 Air Unit Pro. It's a beautiful designed camera cage, but that's pretty much the only difference. And unfortunately, you cannot at this point purchase that camera cage separately. Would be nice if you could, but unfortunately it's not yet available. The other thing, make sure when you're plugging the battery in that you are very careful. Black goes to black, red goes to red. On pretty much every Pavo series I've had, I've been able to plug that thing in backwards. Don't ask me how, but I've been able to do that. And sometimes no issue, other times I have burnt out components. So make sure you're very, very careful when you are plugging this in. Doing a quick unboxing, we have some foam, we have some more foam, we've got the newly designed cage for the O4 Pro air unit. So this thing is completely made out of plastic. It seems pretty flexible and seems to have good protection for the camera. Then we've got the quad and some accessories. The quad itself looks exactly like the prior version. This to me doesn't seem any different, if not exactly the same as the prior O3 version of the Pavo 20 Pro. We've got the LED strip. We have our accessory pack. The one thing that I do see that's different here, we don't have any aftermarket lightweight antenna. Next, we have some extra props. So very nice of BetaFPV to include these extra props. And finally, we have our QR codes. And the assembly is all complete. Really, this assembly is no different than the prior generation of the Pavo 20 Pro. What you do here is you install your O4 air unit, and then you install these rubber grommets in the top deck, and you pass these long black screws all the way through to the top deck. And that pretty much is the installation. So rather than walking through something I've already done in prior videos, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to install my O4 Pro decased version so we can make this quad as light as possible. I do have a tutorial on how to do this in another video. I'll give you a link in the video description. So I've got that installed. I've got the camera installed where the camera should go. And I've also gone ahead and I've used the Flywoo 60 millimeter camera cable just to give me a really clean installation. You can see how short that cable is, just one loop to take up the excess. I've also gone ahead and used my Flywoo O4 antenna. So this is two antenna in one, designed for a 5 gigahertz system like this. Now my first disappointment while assembling this, I really like those smaller bipole antenna that were included in the prior generation from BetaFPV. What I find with this longer antenna, yeah, it probably gives you more range, but it also makes the quad almost twice as high or as tall. And when you're trying to fly indoors around tight obstacles, this keeps catching on the obstacles and flipping the quad over. Doing a weight check, the quad itself with no battery weighs 98 grams. That's pretty good, less than 100 grams. And then I'll be flying these battery packs. These are the Lava 3S 450 milliamp battery. If we add that battery in, 135 ready to go. Looking at the configuration in Betaflight, this quad looks to be set up really well. The only thing I ended up changing was, of course, I put my own rates that I'm used to, and then I did go ahead and move some of the switches around to my personal preference. And finally, I removed this little crosshair from the OSD. Otherwise, setup-wise, this seems really, really good and no other complaints. You can go ahead and bind your ExpressLRS transmitter by powering the quad on and off 3 times. That's a normal ExpressLRS feature. Or you can pull up your ExpressLRS configurator, set your bind phrase, and at the same time upgrade your firmware on the ExpressLRS side to the latest one, which is what I have done. Next, we'll go ahead and do a full tune using my go-to software, which is PID Toolbox. That's how I made the O3 edition of this quad fly so spectacularly. I want to do the same thing here with the O4 edition. I will give you links in the video description to my PID tune and my Betaflight configuration file. All the flight footage you're looking at is straight off of the Goggles 3 goggle view recording or off of the DJI O4 Air Unit Pro onboard recording. As always, I don't use any kind of image stabilization. Pretty much what you're seeing is what the quad is doing as it flies. Unfortunately, today the weather is a bit more windy and gusty than I would prefer. Based on my experience, I know these smaller ducted quads really can't handle much wind. Any kind of slight breeze or wind gust will show up in our flight footage as wobbles, drifts, and just make our experience not as enjoyable. Now, flying around on this day with my custom pit tune, I actually had a really good time. I got so immersed into the flight, just either flying in a more slow cinematic kind of experience or doing any kind of freestyle maneuvers I could throw at the quad. It handled everything like a champ. I got so immersed into the flight that I got distracted and I flew into the top of this tree. Unfortunately, the tree was so tall that I could not reach the quad, so I had to jeopardize the propellers to try to shake the quad loose. Now, because of the damaged propellers, I wanted to do a real good comparison video, so I did switch back to the stock tuning from BetaFPV. And you can see here, even with the busted propellers and the stock tune, we're getting a lot more shakes and wobbles, and generally not a very good experience. And it's such a scary experience that when I do a look back, you can see that there's a huge lack of dampening where the quad almost loses control on these look back. So definitely our custom pit tune using Pit Toolbox, even on the O4 Pro version of this quad, is way better. I continued to fly for several more battery packs, just really enjoying the Pavo 20 Pro, and just keep telling myself that how is it possible that we're able to have such a good experience with a quad that costs as much as most flight controller stacks do nowadays? I got so into flight that unfortunately I did overdrain my battery pack and I crashed because, well, no battery, no lift. But really good flight. As always, I continue to be impressed with the Pavo 20 Pro. The next day out, unfortunately, still has some gusty and windy weather, but I use this opportunity to fine-tune our Betaflight pit tuning and also turn on some of those advanced features such as dynamic idle and also thrust linearization. Really, I focused today on fine-tuning the D term on the pitch axes because I keep noticing that the lookbacks aren't really crisp or as crisp as I remember them being on the O3 version of this quad. So I tweaked, I tuned, and I think I got it a little bit better. But this to me highlights potential manufacturing tolerances and the whole notion that a pit tune is very specific to that particular quad and really needs to be fine-tuned for other quads of the same exact kind of generation. I did also have curiosity go back and try the O3 Spectacular tune I created, and that one really flew quite poopy, which really cements my idea that this O4 version requires a slightly different tune, or perhaps just my version here requires a different tune. And then doing a spirited freestyle flight, I did get roughly 4 minutes, maybe pushing it to 4.5 minutes on the 450 milliamp battery, which is a decent flight time. The Pavo 20 Pro continues to impress me with its flight performance and its low price tag. I mean, I shouldn't really be surprised given that it's the same actual quad as the prior generation, minus this plastic top deck for the O4 Pro Air unit. I would love to see these antennae included from the factory as it was included on the O3 version. I would also love the opportunity of purchasing replacement top decks. If I break this top deck, right now I have to buy a whole new quad. That's not really a good customer experience. Otherwise, this thing continues to impress me, especially with the custom pit tune using the Pit Toolbox software. If this video was helpful to you, I would really appreciate you using my links in the video description to pick up your Pavo 20 Pro. It goes a long way to helping this channel and making videos like this possible. So hopefully you like this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and stay tuned for more videos.